Hi, everybody, and welcome to our stream. I'm Anya with Restream, and today with me is Romario from our product team. Hi, how are you doing today?
I am good. How are you doing?
Doing great, and very excited about today's topic because today we get to talk about live clipping, which is one of the most exciting features and one of the most exciting abilities Restream has shipped in a long time. And Romario, as a product lead on this feature, is going to walk us through this, which is super, super cool and exciting. So we have really great show for you today. We encourage you to ask questions, and we will have a few things to show in terms of how this feature works. And we are also be posting our live clips from this show as we speak. So whether you're watching us on YouTube, LinkedIn, or X, you will be seeing some of the live clipping happening in action. So check them out, and hopefully that will help you to see them and imagine how that would work for your own channel, and of course, prepare any questions, follow-ups, and requests for us. So very quick housekeeping. We are continuing to grow all of our channels. If you're watching us on YouTube today, please like and subscribe. Of course, share it. If you are watching us on some other channels such as X or LinkedIn or Facebook or TikTok or Instagram, we are live in all of those places. Be sure to follow, to share, to comment, and of course, let us know where in the world are you watching from. We're going to acknowledge some folks from the chat in just a minute. And we'll open up, as always, with sharing a few interesting news and things that we've been watching and looking at online these days. And then we will jump straight into live clipping. So stay tuned for that. All right. Let's have a look at our chat. And I'm actually going to overlay the whole thing because we love doing this. Romario, do you want to tell us where in the world are you streaming from today?
I am streaming from London in my second bedroom. and my setup is slightly different to last time. I had a different tree. I think last stream was maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. That entire tree. So we've replaced it with another one.
Yeah.
And my seating is slightly different today. I'm on a metal chair. I'm on 2 books, so we can be at least slightly aligned. But yeah, that's me. What about you?
I do not have any books under me, but this is really funny. So we were trying to, I'm happy that you like went straight into it. We were trying to make sure that we're on the same level as we sit, but we're not sitting in the same room. We don't have exactly the same chairs. So basically this is as low as my chair goes. And there is a trick if you're trying to be higher. You can either mess with your camera and like your whole setup, or you can just put a few books on top of your chair, I guess, and sit on top of the books. And that's what we did. So I'm sure this is going to be a very comfortable stream for you.
Be great for me.
Let us know in the chat, guys, how you solve the problem of aligning people in camera with multiple guests. And I am going to acknowledge a few of our friends right here. Alex from Restream, our head of product, says hello. Grant in Restream says hello. He is our moderator in YouTube today. So thank you so much, Grant, for being here. He'll be helping folks who are asking questions, need help. And as we are not able to answer every single question in chat, he'll be dropping a bunch of links. So pay attention to that. Oh, yeah, says Nick. Nick, very good to see you again. That's awesome. My boss would be upset if they knew how fast I clicked on this live. I think you would be very happy because it's going to hopefully improve your work if you're in live streaming. Joining our show is going to make you better. Can we ask questions about the software? Yes, this is Trevor is asking. You can. So Grant in the chat will be helping out with any questions that you might need to look at some other resources. You might be that are not related to live clipping. We would love to make sure that this show is primarily dedicated to clips. So we use our product manager, Romario, to walk you through all the details of that new release and new update. But if you have other questions, please absolutely be sure to drop them in and we will, we'll try to answer them. Let's go. This is awesome. All right. We have some paired channels here from LinkedIn. Steph says, hey, we actually have 31 paired channel today, which is super, super exciting. And here is Steph from one of the paired channels. He says, watching on LinkedIn. Good to see Restream here as well. Restream Pairs allows you to invite your guests and teammates to rebroadcast your streams to their own channel and really maximize your reach and amplify your events. This is what we do now with all of our streams, and we recommend you to check it out as well. So if you're a team of 10 people and only 2 people are streaming, you can actually have 10 channels live with that content that is relevant to them because that's their team and their work. Something that definitely worth checking. We have our Fish family again. Hi there, Fish fam. Always good to see you. Hello there. Shout out to London. This is for you, Romario, because you are in London. And I am based in Austin, Texas. This is great. Greetings from Fish family. Question, are you using Ecom with Restream? Great question. We are using Restream Studio here. And this is probably the easiest way to go live. It's directly in the browser and it allows you to stream to many, many channels. We have more than 30 channels right now, and you also can go live in vertical and horizontal mode at the same time, which is what we're doing. So if you're watching us on YouTube, by the way, you can click on your YouTube channel and see 2 variations depending on your type of device, whether you're on mobile or on your computer. You can see us in different variations, something that Restream offers natively in Studio. So check it out. Good stuff. All right. Hello from France. How is your French lesson learning?
Bonjour.
Going?
That's going well.
It's going well?
Early days.
Yeah.
Early days. Yeah. I mean, I think like any romantic language, it takes quite a bit of time to get to grips with it. But I think if you just lean into it, go over to France and just go all guns blazing, you can get there pretty quickly.
Nice. No, that's really awesome. I think French is such a beautiful language. So hello there. And yeah, I speak Spanish, so I'm familiar with one of the kind of Romanic languages. It is definitely harder than English in my opinion, but it's definitely, it's so beautiful. It's just so, yeah, I'm very happy. Okay, and so there is a little bit of extra love from Ivan Music Man here. I'm happy with the software. I use it for my music streams and face. Okay, so I guess it's just a heart shape. I actually can
Emoji.
make, the little visual hearts as well. Awesome stream and a lot of highs and thank you. Okay, very cool. So let's go ahead and we invite you guys to continue to ask your questions in the chat. Like I said, oh, hello from Norway. That's awesome. So Ivan Music Man is from Norway. I love that. We are going to continue showing you a few things. First, just to kind of like give you an idea of what live clipping is, how it works. So you will probably get a lot of your kind of like early questions answered through our little demonstration. But then this show is definitely for you. This is a live Q&A. So use this time and this opportunity, this direct access to our product team and to our product marketing team to ask anything you want to know. You can have technical questions, but you can also have questions around how to promote your streams. What is the purpose? Like what kind of use cases? Like what kind of creators would take the most advantage of live clipping? Any kind of questions, anything you want to know, this hour is your town hall, basically. That's your opportunity to ask us anything. Before we get there, I wanted to share one very, very exciting thing. So we always keep an eye on our wonderful creators. And right now, as we speak, one of Restream customers is setting up to launch a rocket with, I believe, with human beings to go to outer space. So this is NASA streaming live the Artemis mission. This is live coverage that is streamed through us. We're super, super, super honored to be part of this and to be able to power this stream. I do believe that the rocket starts its launch in a few hours, so it won't be taken off as we are live here, but we definitely, so this is the ground control, I guess. I'm super, super excited about this. This is so crazy. I recently watched Project Hail Mary, the movie, and now I'm more obsessed with space than ever.
Artemis launch control. We are currently
And
6 hours and 8 minutes
here
and counting
we
from the
go.
opening of today's launch
So
window
yeah,
for the
definitely
Artemis 2
check it out.
mission.
Catch
Now,
the live
launch
stream
window
if you are
opens at
into space.
6:24 p.m.
And
Eastern
yeah,
Time
it's
this
wonderful
evening,
to
and
see
you can still
NASA
have
using
a
Restream
2-hour
to go
launch
live.
window, which means that they have 2
On
hours
other
to
news, I don't know,
launch
Romario, if you had a
window
chance to
for
see
the
this
space.
one, but I think it's interesting because this was about Claude recently apparently leaking a bunch of its source code via map file, and of course, it's all the rage on the internet. I believe this specific tweet got like over 20 million views, and I think internally we had a little conversation whether talking about some code or some like internal secret sauces, like some very internal things becoming public by accident because somebody messed up is now the new marketing tactic, or is this really just human beings being human beings, and people make mistakes, and then now in the era of internet it's just a lot easier for this to get public. So I'm curious what your thoughts are on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great marketing tactic if that was to be true. I do think that maybe this is slightly too sensitive to just go out and release publicly. But actually, what I found more interesting than like the deep actual file map here is two things. One is there was this concept of like a Tamagotchi that they want to release, or at least this was mentioned in the source code. And I myself, as I'm doing more and more vibe coding, I feel like it's a game. You start working on a small fix, you start improving more and more and more, and then you realize you're like at level 17. You planned on only working for an hour, but you end up spending 2 hours here. And I think what's clear to me is that vibe coding and where we're going with just like general creation of software is that it's going to feel more gamified. So it's not surprising that we're seeing this concept of a Tamagotchi coming along.
Yeah.
Another interesting thing for me was that, I don't know how true this is, Polymarket shared this tweet yesterday or on X, which was that they actually store when you use profanity in the chat. So that's an interesting, be kind to your AI, I guess, because you don't know how it's being used.
I definitely saw that tweet. So I don't know, maybe someone from our production team can pull it up and share it real quick. So they basically had, they set up the tracker, like when you are very frustrated with your AI, and like they put a bunch of keywords, and they're basically tracking that. So I wonder if this is if this is something about being kind to your AI, or is it kind of like a product feedback on steroids, right? Like if someone is like dropping a bunch of, F-bombs there, clearly something isn't working, and maybe it's
They're
time
not
for
happy.
developers to have a look at that. Yeah, I love that.
Profanity is the use of profanity can be seen as the new thumbs up, thumbs down. It's probably more
exactly.
truthful.
The fastest product feedback loop that you can possibly wish for, especially in the era of chatting and like plain English communication with your software, right? This is pretty exciting. Good stuff. All right. So the topic today is live clipping. We are super excited to share that not only Restream allows you to create shorts, TikToks, and Reels from your long videos, so basically turn your streams into bite-sized highlights right after you're done streaming, completely automatically saving hours on editing and basically appearing in vertical feeds and finding new fans through those vertical formats that are extremely popular on all platforms and are pushed by platform algorithms. Not only you can do that after the stream, but now you can do that while you are live. And as we are streaming this event right now, this Q&A and demo, we are generating live clips, and we will be posting them on YouTube, LinkedIn, and X, so you can check it out and see how that works in action. So live clipping basically is exactly what it sounds. So we basically, our AI picks the best moments. It splits your stream into multiple different sections, and every 10 minutes, it just decides which of these 10 minutes is the most viral possible, like which has the most potential to become a really interesting highlight. And then either someone on your team behind the scenes can grab it and post it, or you can do it yourself if you can manage multiple things and you're good at multitasking, or have little fillers or intermissions between your interactive sessions. We do have a quick guide on that, so let's check it out.
Are your live stream clips more "look what you missed" when they could be live now? Then you need Restream's live clipping. Live clipping automatically pulls highlights as you stream and gets them ready for posting to all your channels, nudging your subscribers to join you live and grabbing the attention of new swipe by fans. Here we go. From the homepage, head to Clips and click the Settings gear icon. Toggle on Live Clipping, which is part of the 250 clips plan. Set your style preset or keep the default. And side note, I have autopilot on, so when the stream ends, the full recording is processed and a fresh batch of clips is made. For setup, that's it. Just go live and Restream will process your stream in 10-minute chunks for the first 30 minutes. Keep a second browser tab open so you can easily check to see when clips are ready, and at around 15 minutes, the first set will drop into your library with a live badge. All you need to do now is multi-post them across all your platforms. This could seriously 3x your views and pull in completely new audiences, all while you're still on air. Live clipping means that nobody need miss experiencing you live. Give it a go and please share your results with us. Oh, and drop a like and subscribe. Cheers.
All right. Good stuff. So this is kind of like a quick overview of how you can do that in Restream. And we also have a few updates that are kind of fresh and launching right now as we speak. So we'll show you a few other ways how to set this up in settings. But this is truly very exciting feature. I know, Romario, we had this conversation yesterday. I don't think there are any other tools that, at least I'm familiar with in live streaming space, that allow you to do that at such an easy kind of like access level without any like massive enterprise conversations, basically self-service on like just basically something they can do directly and set up for your channels. Does that sound right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think something that we're very excited about at Restream is kind of democratizing this kind of workflow. I think, as you said, a lot of the platforms out there and a lot of the kind of tools that do offer this is you kind of blocked by this kind of sales cycle. So what we're trying to do is really bring this to an audience and make it really accessible. And, our hope is that we support all creators in kind of producing this content and not only bringing people back into the live streams and grow the audience while actually broadcasting. But I also think it's a really great feature for people that, want to kind of be perceived as timely. So if you
Yeah.
think about someone that is working maybe on a newsworthy type of content creation, like news, I think it's a really great way for you to be kind of timely in that sense, and not wait till after the stream to go and publish that. I think it really signals to your audience and to new potential audience members that you kind of are on top of your game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think breaking news is a great example. So is sports. If you
Yeah.
are sports media and some super enthusiastic and important core moments in the game is something that you want to clip and share immediately while the game is still happening. And then again, coming back to the marketing superpower or promotional superpower of live clips is that you can funnel the new viewers that you will find in those vertical feeds and in the feeds of shorts or TikToks back into the full stream, right? You can basically say, hey, look, this team that we're all watching has just scored. If that's sports, you can come back and watch the game while it's still happening versus watch a highlight that happened about like the game that happened yesterday, right? Like it's a completely different feeling. Also, I do believe that even for marketing teams or product teams, if you are launching something and you're really inspired by something that's like Apple events, right? When they announce new products, the whole world is basically looking forward to seeing what is the new iPhone going to look like, what is the new iPods are going to look like, right? You can create those little bite-sized content pieces for the core kind of like pivotal moments and invite people back into the big event because you can show something that's super exciting and interesting that everyone's looking forward to kind of invite people to crave more, right? That's all good stuff. I had a few more thoughts about like what could be a good use case, but now I'm all completely blinded by this idea that NASA is live right now, and that could be a great use of live clipping too. If you're launching a rocket into space, and I don't know if you meet alien life form, that's worth a live clip, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So-
Niche, but it's a use case.
Niche, but a use case. Awesome. I do have a few questions in the chat before we go through a few other kind of like more nuanced details about live clipping. I do want to show you how you can edit live clips. So live clipping is designed to be super hands-off and super automated. But if you do care about the exact positioning and you really want to make sure that you preview and have a little bit of control in terms of how the clip appears, where the captions are, the styling, and all those things, we will show you how you can edit clips live in real time while they are being produced live, while you are also live, super meta. And we will also show you a little bit about multiposting and break down the live clip settings. So basically to set you up for success. So as many things as possible can get automated. So then when clips show up, you can just simply post. But I do want to take a few questions from the chat right now because there's some good ones there. And I will start with this one. KTMO Live is asking, does clipping only work in studio or with streaming from external encoders like vMix and OBS? It's a good one.
Yeah, that's a great one. So yeah, the goal really is that we would allow live clipping for studio as we are doing right now, but also for encoder. So if you are plugging RMTP right into Restream, you will be able to also generate clips.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, if you're using OBS with Restream, as long as you have these Restream clips add-on subscription, you will be getting clips as well. And live clips also work the same way. So basically, if you enable live clipping, whether you go live from studio or from OBS, it is going to work for you the same way. So great question. I use Restream for my streams. That's Luke from France. This is awesome. Okay, what else we have? Turn that like button blue and smash subscribe to show your appreciation.
Thanks, Fish Fam.
Never disappoints. I love that stuff. That's awesome. So let's talk a little bit about editing because, again, like I mentioned earlier, the clips, when they are generated automatically and when they are live while you are live, are kind of hard to manage if you are kind of like a one-girl show, right? Like a one-man show. When you are both delivering your content, maybe interviewing guests and producing, it is still possible to have this additional tab open and just kind of like go there, preview them, and post. but we do want to give you controls to make some edits before you post that clip. So you basically have two options: either post it without looking or make some adjustments, and we can definitely help you figure this out. All right, so this is a quick screencast of how the live clipping settings work. So once you have live clipping enabled, you will see this project. Actually, let me go back to this real quick for just a second. So it's going to get zoomed right here. So you can see that one of your projects has this label that says live clips are being generated, right? And that means that this is the project that is happening while you're still streaming. So once you enter that space, following our little cursor, you will see the clips that just got created from the recent batch. So the last 10, 15 minutes of your stream got kind of like chopped up. And then from there, you can easily enter our editor. And there are a few controls in there, such as trimming, reframing, and of course, captions and styling. So you can quickly change the layout, maybe cut a few lines or words that you don't necessarily want in the clip. And you can make those adjustments, such as zooming something, kind of like reframing slightly, and then it saves automatically. And after that, you can come back. You can also like create, there are a few editing options there. And then after that, you can go ahead and post the clip. So that is something that, of course, requires some multitasking. In our case, for example, we do have our producers helping us out today. And I can see that right now, first clips are already done and they are posted on X, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So if you're watching the stream and you want to kind of look at our page and see what those live clips look like, you can see them right now. The first batch has been generated and posted. So I believe that in our case, we do a little bit of editing. So we at least preview and sometimes reframe a little bit if we need to. But honestly, I believe they come as we constantly improve the model and we constantly improve how the framing works. I know there was a lot of work done on reframing recently, right, Romario? So a lot of those clips appearing pretty much good to go from my experience. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is only going to improve. Like, obviously, right now we've democratized accessibility of live clipping. Like, what we really do want to get to is a place where we can democratize it to like a one-person show. I think in order to do that, it's really about making sure that our generations, you can generate clips with confidence. So whether that's looking at how we reframe, looking at which framing you'd like to always be consistent regardless of stream. Again, like captions, all those kind of customizations that you can maybe save and always have like a consistent generation. I think that is really going to help get this more and more to like the smallest team. Obviously right now we have co-producers. It makes it quite simple. So there's a lot of work that we're going to be doing over the coming weeks and months to make this better for everyone.
I love this question from Danger Zone. Hello, by the way, good to see you.
Yeah.
The regulars are always a pleasure to see in the chat. Maybe some strategies for how to pull this off while live hosting a show. Yeah, basically where we started, like it is probably the easiest way if you want peace of mind and you're not great at multitasking like I am. My brain gets scattered if I have to do more than 4 things at the same time. And live streaming, hosting, reacting to chat, controlling scenes, and just being a normal person on camera is already like a lot of tasks. In addition to that, doing some editing and clipping and previewing, and especially when you have to listen to what the words are, like, is the sound good? That's a little bit too much. So probably finding a co-producer, maybe a volunteer, community member, moderator who can help out with that is the best way. With Restream, you can invite people by offering them seats or workspaces even. Probably seats is more than enough for solo podcasts when you can invite somebody to co-produce with you and kind of do that work for you while you're hosting. That's probably the easiest way in terms of how to manage that. But I do have a few more tips on how you can set yourself up for success if you do not have the opportunity to invite a live producer. And that brings us to live clip settings. So this page right here is where you can set up your clips. So basically, this is, you go to your clips tab and then you open settings. And this is what you can see there in terms of what kind of controls and what kind of decisions you can make before the clipping process even starts, right? So this is where you will actually activate your live clipping. It's one way. There's another way that we'll show you later. But live clipping is something that you need to toggle on. Autopilot actually means that we will also automatically create more clips after your full stream is over, which is great. And then there are a ton of generation presets. So Romario, I'll walk folks through that. But there are a lot of things that you can preset to make sure that, for example, clip duration or styles are already as good as they can get.
Yeah, I think like this is very much still early days for us in terms of the generation style controls, and we're really going to be expanding on it. But for right now, you have the concept of style preset, which allows you to kind of design your caption style, where it's placed, the sizing, the font style, the colors, animations. I think it's a really great way to just be consistent across streams. And what's great about this is you can create them inside the editor, save it there, and then you just update the style preset within the generation setting. For number of clips, I think it's quite self-explanatory, but generally what you're looking at here is at the end of a live stream for any project that's using autopilot, or if you're uploading a project manually, how many clips do you generally want from that entire scene? Duration, Anya already mentioned, most people try and keep it under 60 seconds. At the end of the day, you are creating shorts. So if we were you, we would highly recommend using anything under 60 seconds. Orientation is obviously a great one. Generally, people are using vertical. Again, vertical content is what the market wants and expects now. And there's a couple more there in terms of additional settings, like whether you want captions at all. Maybe you don't want any reframing. Currently, we use reframing. You can also enable emojis, which will show up above captions. And this is also related to the content. And this is dependent on like what the transcript is. And intro title is just another neat way for you to kind of grab audience right at the beginning of your short. So, at the moment, this is quite simple, and like what we're going to be releasing over time, I think is going to kind of boost like confidence in, the output. You'll be able to decide what kind of frames you actually like. It's not just about like reframe it for me, but maybe you have a specific style you really like. And you'll also be able to kind of templatize this kind of your generation recipe. So this will kind of cover live clipping and autopilots and even manual generations.
Yeah, I think this is really cool because to Danger Zone's question, the best way to make it more seamless especially for small production teams, is to make sure that all the presets, all the templates, all the controls are kind of preset before you go live. And in that case, you get basically the best, the closest to perfect outcome to begin with. And then hopefully while you're hosting, the editing and changing and adjustments are not going to be necessary. And in that case, you can simply multipost them, which we will show you in just a minute how you can do that. And that basically allows you to continue hosting and focus on your content, focus on your audience, while using this great extra ability to bring in some more views and new fans. What you're seeing here is actually pretty interesting. This is our real screenshot from our own settings. And this is how we like to set it up. So we actually prefer to have clips under 30 seconds because in our mind, shorts should be captivating and pretty snappy, right? And when you set up this duration to as short as possible, I believe you can even do under 15 seconds, right? Like one of the settings is as low as 15 seconds.
I'm actually not sure. I don't think so. But
15 seconds is very short, but that's what like ads would be, right? Like if you're trying to turn your shorts into advertising, like into ads that you would run on vertical platforms, you would want to be under 15 seconds because that's how much time you have to get their attention. So shorter, probably better, honestly, in this case. So less is more. But yeah, those are some controls that you have and some settings that we recommend. So yeah, check this out. And let's see what else we have in our chat in terms of questions, because I see people keep adding. This is really cool. Very concise question. Speaking of short, right? Hotkey. Are we going to have hotkeys to basically. I do think that this is about hotkey clipping while we are live. So this kind of comes back to our philosophy, like of do you want to do it manually versus do you want to automate it? So, do you want to speak on that a little bit?
I think it's a great idea. I think it's something that we definitely could explore. There has been requests and ideas around, you as the creator know what is the moment, and you don't necessarily need this to be automated. So yeah, I think a hotkey is a really interesting way to be quite discreet about choosing a moment that had just passed. I think another way is also using voice input. We've seen that come through a couple times already. And yeah, I think there's definitely a use case for it. I think for us right now, like the focus is really making sure that we can automate the best experience, which would help people that don't have a huge team and maybe don't even have a moment to handle a hotkey. But we eventually want to get to a place where you really have deep control. The studio is really such a highly controllable interface, and we definitely want to lean more and more into that. And I believe we are like exploring hotkeys generally for the product as well. So this is definitely something that we are considering.
Yeah, absolutely. Great question here from Technical Media. Are you able to adjust the start and end points, possibly allow an additional 5 to 10 seconds recording to accommodate that for, I believe, for a live clip? So I'll find that moment in the live editing, but I'll let you start on this, so we can show you a little bit of what kind of editing is possible. Let's see. We have right here right about here. So this is our editor, right? I'm trying to find the moment. Okay, so this is the moment. So when you enter the editor, we basically, one of the functions is to trim. Trimming actually means both expand or shorten, right? So, and that's where you can edit your clip as your video clip as a text document, right? So basically, and you can see here in this demonstration that basically we say, okay, I don't want this word because, so we're going to just remove it, and then we're moving into reframing. But that's basically how you could adjust the clip by just simply editing the text. So if you feel like you want to add a little bit of the actual content that was not captured automatically by AI, this is the best way to do it in the editor. However, I think the question, and feel free to clarify, please, if I feel the question might be about just adding 5 to 10 seconds of just kind of like something else, basically like a little like filler, I guess, fading in, fading out type situation. That's not something I believe we have, unless you simply like drop some kind of media into the clip. But maybe Romario, you know a little bit more about that one.
Yeah, I think if we're talking about automated generation, I think in general it's probably taking start and end points into account already. I think that's why the editor experience is also great for that, because as Anya showed, you can just add a couple more lines on either side of the selected transcript. However, when it comes to, I can see this being really useful for someone that is potentially manually live clipping, right? Like I've just hit the hotkey, or I've just somehow kind of identified a moment. Now, can you add some buffer time on either side? I think that's really interesting for us right now. But I think in general, like what we have right now kind of does take into account some level of start and end, and making sure you get a full kind of picture of the moment.
Absolutely. And you can see the live clips that are produced right now. So if you're watching us on YouTube, LinkedIn, or X, we are posting those clips as we speak. I do believe that the second batch is either already posting or is about to drop any moment. So you can see how those live clips are. We do have some help. Our co-producers are grabbing and posting those, but we don't obviously have a lot of time to edit them vigorously. So they are pretty much as they come. We're maybe minorly correcting just the descriptions and like just a few things, which we'll show you in multi-posting. So the second clip is processing right now. So it's about to drop, as I can see from our producers. But you can kind of see what quality of intro and kind of like how it grabs the moment, and like what kind of buffers you have by simply looking at the ones that we're sharing right now. And this question from SafeHire360 is also kind of related. Is it a text editor, or can you remove the ums and filler words automatically? I love this question because I'm going to come back for just 1 second back to the clip editor and show you
You
that
have
the
you have
text
a couple
editor.
ums.
Yeah. And if you have a couple ums in there, hopefully it's going to show me. It's very easy to remove it with text editor. So here we are. And let's see, here's our selection. So yeah, you can see that we allow you to basically edit out any words that you want. So imagine if because was actually a filler word, right? Like you can simply select it and remove it. But I do believe that there is opportunity for creating some kind of an automation to just detect those words and nuke them automatically. Because I can hardly imagine a stream where you would want ums and ahs. What do you think, Romario? Do people ever want them in their clips, or should they just be automatically detected and removed? Like,
I think it's dependent on really the creator, right? I think
yeah,
some people are totally okay with and like, and others aren't. But I think regardless, like we should definitely get to a point where we support like faster editing cycles. Like one way you could potentially find instead of going through the entire transcript line by line to find the ums is using the search which we have on this in this editor for this transcript trimming. But beyond that, we've also had requests around removing silences. So I definitely think there's definitely room for us to improve this to kind of one-shot removal X, Y, Z words. I think that would be really useful.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, because automating that just saves a ton of time on editing, and that's kind of the point. And especially when it's live clipping, when things are so in the moment, right? Any kind of automation is massive help. Great question, Safe Hire. Let us know if you want to know anything more about this. Great question also from Technical Media. Can live clipping be configured to create wide format clipping? Yes. So like we showed here in the settings, you do have an option to set up your orientation. Most people want them vertically because they are repurposing them on mobile first platforms such as Instagram, TikTok, or Shorts. But you do have an option to get landscape clips as well. In this setting where we have vertical, you simply change it to landscape, and then you can get those clips. I do see a lot of that on X, actually. I saw a few professional podcasters that actually love to get those snippets, but they just want them in the regular format. I don't know if you see a lot of data on that. Like, what do people prefer based on what we see? Mostly, do people like clips to be vertical, or is there kind of a mix?
I think what we see is mostly vertical. There's definitely people that we also have square, which is 1x1 that is used, but I think vertical is absolutely, based on, the end platform is really what is usually preferred by the algorithms. But I can definitely see that landscape being really useful for, X. I'd also suggest, like, if you are doing landscape, maybe play around with reframing and test the generation just to see what it looks like, because maybe it might look better without any reframing as well. If you just kind of want to basically take your whole screen and just create a short out of it, it might make sense to drop reframing altogether.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I love that. And so, yeah, definitely check out those settings and let us know why you prefer landscape clips, because we're always curious to hear your feedback and see some ideas that we could maybe integrate and maybe showcase in our future streams. I do see that we just posted another clip that is a live clip from this show that is still happening live right now. So check it out if you're watching us on X, YouTube, or LinkedIn. It is dropping as we speak. Is this using AI during the live show to generate those clips? Yes. This is an AI-powered tool that basically edits out the moments. How it does that, it is analyzing your transcript, so the language, the words you speak, and based on the transcript, it picks up the moments that AI considers going to be the most viral and the most interesting, and then creates the clips based on that. So there is AI-powered editing that saves you time and helps you to not have a bunch of people reading and transcribing and going through the content. But the content itself is not AI-generated at all. It is only you, your guests, the things that you say, So there's nothing that's added or generated in terms of AI to your clips. You can see the live clips that we're posting right now. You will see it's exactly the same setup. It's us, it's our audio, it's our faces. The only things that are generated automatically is the editing itself and the captions. So everything else is entirely you, natural and human.
One might say we even created the captions just by speaking.
By speaking them, exactly. So it's just the automation to make them appear on the screen and to make them kind of like move and like highlight the words that we're talking. That's the only thing that AI does there. Question, is this going to be, are there going to be additional charges for this feature? So clipping in general is an add-on to Restream subscription. So you can subscribe to Restream, and if you want to get clips, that is something that you will need to purchase additionally. Now, live clipping is part of the package of our highest clip package, which is 250 clips. I believe it is $59 a month. And that is already including live clipping. So if you're asking if live clipping as a standalone feature is going to be an additional add-on, it's not. It's just part of the higher package of live clips that are an add-on. So I know it's kind of confusing, but yeah. So you can subscribe to Restream. That's a separate price. Then you add clips for $59. You get a ton of them, 250 per month, and that includes live clipping. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. Feel free to clarify if that's not clear. I do believe I have our pricing page here, but I don't know if I have all the clips in there. I think I do. It's a little blurry.
It might only be showing the 50 ones. Oh no, it's there.
Yeah, it's right there. Yeah. So this page, yeah, it's a little blurry. So I'm probably just gonna go back to our usual scene. Sorry about that. But yeah, it is. It's not at all related to the plan that you're on. So that's basically the power and the beauty of add-on. So you can be on professional plan, and then you can have the highest clipping plan because you need live clipping. Or you can be on business plan and get a bunch of Restream subscription features, but maybe you don't need clipping at all. And then in that case, you don't have to purchase that. So that's why it is structured this way. So it gives you the most flexibility to figure out what kind of clipping features you need and how many clips you need and what other Restream features you need in order to be successful with your content. So that's why it's like very much pick your own adventure, build your own sandwich type situation. But yeah, live clipping starts at our $59 plan, and it is an add-on to subscription. Good stuff. So here is another question from Danger Zone. Preparing a pre-recorded 5-minute video that allows you to step away as a technique or a strategy to be able to do live clipping if you don't have a co-producer. I love that. That's really good because it's both great if you have someone else who's co-hosting with you, right? Like they could kind of take over while you're working on something. But if you're solo, then you do need a little promotion, maybe like a little sponsor segment, maybe even a little tutorial guide like what we were showing earlier. We usually kind of sit around and kind of react to it. But that's a great way to give yourself a little pause and check on those live clips, maybe do some minor editing and then multi-post them. Good idea. Unpopular hot take, I guess, unpopular opinion. Circus FM says ums and ahs are part of the authenticity. I actually like that. I'm curious what you think about this, Romario. So basically, if you keep those moments, right, like it kind of proves that this is real and live, because when things are way too sterile, they start sounding edited and like perfected to the point when they kind of lose the appeal of live, because live is supposed to be messy. Like that's kind of the beauty of it. What do you think? So maybe that's why we should keep the ums and ahs?
Yeah, no, I mean, it goes back to what I said. It really is dependent on the creator's style, right? Like, I think there are people that want the ums and ahs because, yes, it feels more authentic. There could also be a type of creator that really wants snappy shorts, where it might not just be the it might be the and a couple words that just like jumps completely from, one scene to another. So I think we should not only support removal of filler words. Maybe there's a filler word that you think is a filler word that we don't think is a filler word. You should have control over what is and isn't a filler word to you. But no, I agree. I think for me personally, ums and ahs are totally part of a live stream experience. You are here for an hour? You might be sitting on books. It's not super comfortable all the time. So ums and ahs are totally part of the package, and I think it should be embraced.
And so are books on your chair. Package Package really varies depending on your yeah, that's really cool. I love that. But yeah, I agree. Authenticity is part of life, and when you are creating live clips, when they are again way too edited and way too perfect, I do think that there is kind of like there's a balance there. So you might be losing some of the appeal because it looks like it's just completely different thing, right? Like it couldn't be live because it's so perfect. Good stuff. I love this. Ivan Music Man, I like the focus on vertical clips because that's the way to get more subs. The young people love the shorts clips. Yes, absolutely. And like we mentioned earlier, and it's probably worth repeating, that the end platforms, especially like YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, very actively promote vertical content because that's the way to keep the audience and the viewers on the platform because it's bite-sized, it's easy digestible, it's scrollable. So definitely you do get prioritized. I did recently looked at our stats on Instagram. So the only thing we do on Instagram with Restream is live, which is what we do right now. We are live on our Instagram at the moment. And we also post reels, which are primarily clips from our live shows or maybe some shorts of our tutorials. So every tutorial, every guide that we make currently gets a vertical version pretty much precisely for this reason, because we want to make sure that we get into those vertical feeds and we capture the viewers and the audiences that normally would not watch landscape content. I know it sounds crazy, right? Because you would think, how is it possible? Everyone watches TV, everyone has a computer, but that's not the case. A lot of people operate their whole business completely entirely on their phone, and mobile or vertical is the only way they interact with the internet. And to capture those audiences, you do need to be vertical. You need to feed that screen and you need to kind of appeal and please that algorithm. So vertical is definitely a way to go.
Yeah, I mean, we see it even with end platforms that are rolling out applications on smart TVs, whether it's directly on like Apple TV or it's just like a regular smart TV. They are building for vertical. Like I spent time with my family last week and I saw my parents watching shorts on a TV.
Yeah.
Like vertical is still applicable, even if your end platform might not be fully vertical.
Yeah, totally. I agree. Yeah, it's just such a breakthrough in terms of finding new audiences and new fans. Here's another case for editing and trimming and kind of adjusting your shorts if you do not speak perfect English. And it's always good to change the text after the stream. It is true for captions and, of course, for shorts and clips. I would say, again, with live clips and live videos in general, this is part of authenticity. I do have accent, and I that's part of who I am. That's part of my kind of secret sauce, I would say, that makes me unique and authentic. So I would say, but of course, in some situations, you do want it to be corrected for clarity, which is why we allow you to edit captions. And you can also change the language of your captions. That's another cool superpower of Restream clips. If you go to your settings, you can change the language. And if you want to kind of maybe widen the reach of your clips into different geographies and different locations, you can actually have this stream with captions in Spanish, for example, which is super cool for live clipping and for clipping after the stream. Good stuff. All right. Now, here's another question. The Broken Prophet. I just got here. I like this new feature. Is it only in Restream Studio or will it also clip from OBS? Yeah, we covered that earlier, but I think it's time to kind of repeat that. It is going to work on both OBS or other encoders as well as Studio. So both ways, no matter how you stream, as long as you have live clipping enabled in your settings, you are going to get live clips. And this is how you enable them right here with this little new tag that says live clipping. If you choose to use Studio for your clips, this is kind of breaking news.
What a segue.
What a segue. We just dropped this new control directly in your Restream Studio. So if you're using Studio and you want to enable clipping directly from your Studio preview, well, now you can. It's just a simple toggle. It does exactly the same thing as the toggle in Clips settings. So you cannot currently activate it in the middle of the stream. So you have to make this decision before you hit go live. But this is just another entry point when if you have the live clipping plan, basically our highest plan for clips, you can say, hey, actually live clip this while you are building your stream, while you're building your scenes and working on your preview. So how does that feel too?
It's great. I think, one of the first things we thought about was, from an infrastructure point of view, we can make live clipping happen, but what we really need to get to is a point where it's easy for people to manage this while actually live. So this gets us closer and closer to that experience. I think, Anya, you would have noticed, because we've obviously just shipped this. During our stream, we're actually starting to see notifications in the stream saying that live clips are ready. So this is another addition to it. So over time, we're going to be bringing live clipping experience and kind of the whole publishing experience closer and closer into Studio, at least make it easier for a single person team to actually do this. So it's very exciting. And we've got a long way to go, but I'm very excited to see how we can make it easy for a 100-person team to a 1-person team.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, I did notice these notifications, and I do find them super helpful, because if you don't have a person who's just watching clips at all times, and if it's just you focusing on content and simultaneously trying to make sure you post live clips, it's really, really handy. So it's basically like a little toaster notification that pops up and says, hey, the next batch of clips is ready. So that kind of gives you a little reminder to go there and check them out, or that's just kind of like gives you this visual clue that this is ready. I love that. Really, really good stuff. So there are a few questions about trials. Let's go ahead and take those. One is from X. Actually, can we apply for live clipping trial? And there is another one from Technical Media. Is there a trial available? Do we offer trials for live clipping?
We don't offer trials specifically for live clipping right now. What we do offer is a trial for the 250 clips plan. And that's across all of the clips plans. So if you haven't tried clips yet, I really recommend giving it a go. You might as well try 250, because you'll be able to try out live clipping and get as many clips as possible. But potentially you might be on a lower plan and maybe you aren't ready to jump all the way to 250. It's definitely something that we would consider. So please, after you've upgraded and have given it a go, you should get an email from me where you can provide some feedback, and I'd really appreciate if you could share this. Like I said, we are trying to democratize it as much as possible, and if this is one of the ways to kind of help you to get started, we can definitely take that on board.
Yeah, absolutely. And remember that live clipping add-on, just like any clips add-ons, are months to months. So it's pretty easy to upgrade to a higher plan. And if you want to see if live clipping is going to work for you and your content and your channel and your team, and then if in the months you realize that that's not quite there yet, or you have some feedback for Mario, you can share it. You can actually go back to a smaller plan. And then once we push some more upgrades and improvements, you can kind of like go back and forth between those plans. They're non-commitment for like a long term. We don't even have currently an annual plan for clips, so it's pretty flexible pricing situation right now. So I would definitely say that if you haven't tried clips at all, definitely apply for that trial. If you have clips on a lower tier, it's an opportunity to do live clipping for months and see the miracles and the magic that it does for you. And based on our own test, we started to test live clipping last 2 weeks, I believe. 2 weeks ago was the first time when we started to post our own live clips. And it is pretty impressive in terms of how much our viewership, our engagement, our growth of channels in terms of subscribers went up from that moment on, because this is extremely effective. And this is, again, very early stage, right? Like we're just testing and we're just trying it. There's so many things that we're going to improve and automate, which we will talk about in just a minute, because there's a whole conversation about the future of live clipping and what's coming in there. Love that. Interesting comment here from Circuits FM. YouTube will only allow 3 notifications per day to subscribers, so anything beyond, including clips, won't be passed forward to subs. That's an interesting thing. I am not sure I was aware of that. 3 notifications basically means like those pop-up notifications, right? Like if you said, for example, that I would like to be notified when this stream goes live or this channel goes live or anything new gets uploaded to the channel. I do believe that I do understand why these controls are there. It makes sense. You don't want to be bombarded with notifications. with, hundreds of clips being posted or hundreds of live streams started. But I do think, to kind of slightly devil's advocate to this opinion, is that live clipping or clips in general are not necessarily entirely there for your subscribers. They are mostly for the new fans and the new people that are going to potentially learn about your channel through this little billboard style, bite size, tiny little teaser that you will show them of what your content is like. And then you funnel them into your show, and then you turn them into subscribers and loyal fans that will show up all the time whenever you notify them that you are streaming. So that's kind of like my vision of that. But Romario, feel free
I
to.
had the exact same
Yeah.
thoughts as well. It's very likely that your subscribers are already watching. They are not the target audience. Hopefully one of the 3 notifications that you're allowed has brought them in. And yeah, live clipping is for capturing new audiences and showing that you are like on top of everything in terms of timely content.
Absolutely. Love that. And we do have, I believe, another clip that is about to post right now, which is so cool. And I am very excited. So once it posts, we will let you know. So be on the lookout. It's dropping any moment. I'd like to take this comment from Danger Zone here. I think it's an interesting idea. Maybe landscape could be used for like a midstream clips. So that is kind of like, I mean, I don't know, maybe I misunderstood the comment. Meta. I was imagining that, like, how do you streamline and optimize your time as a solo creator, as a one kind of person show, right, on the podcast? So one of the ways to do it is actually set up your clips to being landscape. And while you are working on posting your live clip midstream, you are showing one of those clips as your little filler. So basically come back to the cool point during your show, replay it as a clip, and while this is playing, you're posting while horizontal but still live highlights from your show on all channels at the same time. How crazy is that? I love this creative approach. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we should definitely make pulling in kind of your favorite clips as a media source. You should be able to, in a scene, potentially, as you can share your screen or upload videos, you should also be able to pull in some favorited clips directly into a scene. I think it's a great idea for sure.
I love that. If it's not yet in ideas.restream.io, please add it there. Please. If it's already there, let's upvote it, because once we are done streaming today, I'm personally going to go and upvote it, because I would love that. I would love to be able to pull in, because like right now, Romario, right? Like we experience that when people come back or like new people join the stream and they ask the question that maybe we already answered, but it's a great question, such as a question about pricing or editing. We can simply play the clip of us answering that question just 20 minutes ago. And that is so interesting and so new, right? It's a different format. I love that. Good stuff, guys. I want to show you a little bit about multi-posting. So one of the coolest things about Restream is that we allow you to stream to multiple platforms at the same time. We are currently live at more than 30 channels. That's because we are live on major 10 Restream channels, right, that we're typically using, such as YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, and X. In addition to that, our whole team paired their channels and rebroadcasts this event as we speak. So we are super grateful and thankful for their trust and their support in amplifying this message to their communities and their followers. But in addition to that, we're thinking about Restream as this kind of like multi-reach, your video everywhere, your message, your story everywhere. So of course, when we thought about clipping in general and live clipping in particular, multi-posting was very important. So this is how it works. Once your clips are done and created, and even if they are live in your live generating project, this is what your journey is going to look like. So you'll be clicking on the project, finding the clips that you want, and then this is your basically setup. So all those channels that you see there, and I'm going to pause right here for a second, are the channels that you already have connected to Restream. Right? So those are your LinkedIn, your YouTube, your X channels that you are going live to. And with just a simple toggle with preset and pre-populated description, those clips are going to post automatically on all of those channels at the same time. You can edit them if you feel like your LinkedIn description should be slightly different from your YouTube description. You can add a few things here and there, such as links to your full live show, which is something we'll talk about later. But this is basically your superpower of multi-posting. So you select all of those channels, and then once you're done, there's one button that says publish it all. I really like how that works, and voila, right? Here we are. This is our live, well, this is Charles's live X, where he is streaming actively. And while he still has this super cool kind of like banner around his profile picture saying that he's live, he's actively streaming, he can immediately post a short highlight from the event that he is hosting at the same time. And simultaneously, the same clip goes on his shorts feed in YouTube, on his LinkedIn, and any other channel that he has connected. So that is super cool. I just want to make sure that we show you this process. I'm just going to play it one more time. It is the same multi-posting as you can use for other clips that are not live, but it is also possible for real-time clipping. And I wanted to make sure that you see that, because it is that's your content on steroids, right? That's when you are everywhere for real. Good stuff. I'm going to go ahead and take a few more questions because there's some cool comments there. And then we are going to transition to the conversation about the future of live clipping. So buckle up. Circuits FM says, thank you for your support as always. It's always great. Thank you so much. It's really cool. All right, what else we have? Enabling and disabling clips is super easy. That is true. So those settings, those controls are very, very simple, and you can basically play with them. And you can decide which shows require live clipping and which don't with that toggle, which is super important, because maybe some of your, like this show is, of course, one of those moments when we absolutely need live clipping because, again, very meta. We are talking about live clipping, right? Like we must have them here. But maybe some of our demos and Q&As don't necessarily have them. But yeah, it's a very simple toggle. You can always adjust that. Very, very simple. All right, good stuff. Let's go ahead and talk about the future. Romario, where do you see live clips? And you know how when people ask you this question, where do you see yourself in 2 weeks, 5 years, 10 years? Where do you see live clips in the nearest time?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think for us, like I said, is making the experience easier for the smaller teams or the one-person team. So what we're going to be focusing right now is making it super, super easy to post that content. Something we're looking at is potentially looking at the most viral clips within that live clipping project and just auto posting that on your behalf. Obviously, you'd still have the control to turn that feature on and off. Another thing we'd like to do is add the actual stream link directly to the actual caption. Right now, we generate pretty great captions based on your transcript, and we want to kind of add another kind of oomph to it by including the live stream link and also drawing those viewers back to it. Most platforms now actually have the ability to enter live stream directly from like the profile icon or the avatar. But this is just another way to, again, bring people in slightly more easily if they maybe don't understand that they can click the avatar. So that for us is kind of top of mind from like a publishing point of view. Next up for us is also the editor experience. We've been working hard on bringing kind of a new editor that is much more performant, much faster. There's a couple of neat features in there that we'll share closer to the time. And I think beyond that, it's just about giving people the full confidence that the generation that's going to be made based on the content they share, whether that's a stream or manual upload, is that it comes out kind of consistently. And I've touched on that earlier, that it's not just about captions, it's also about what kind of framing. It's about the intro title and the outro title. There's quite a bit that we can do there so that you can feel confident that auto posting could work really well for you, and you can really be kind of hands off as even a single producer and content creator.
Yeah, absolutely. What I want to do now is I want to share our screen, and show you exactly how it looks. I am going to show it on X just because it's very simple there. And I will also show you YouTube in just a minute. But this is our channel. And I'm also using our awesome feature of moving and scrolling directly in preview, so I don't have to lose the preview of Studio. I don't have to go to that tab. I'm actually right in Studio, and I can move things around. So this is our Restream page, right? Like if you're watching us on X, you're probably already there. You see that our Restream logo has this big live banner, which is us being live right now. And if you scroll down a little bit, you will see that there are clips. So this is literally the clip from us wearing the same stuff, talking about the same topic. And you can see that right next to our title, we say we're live right now, and then there's a link, right? Like, so this is something that we're currently doing manually with the help of our producers, but the goal is to make sure that this is done automatically. And ideally, what we're trying to aim for is that if this is happening on YouTube, for example, if those are the clips that you're posting on YouTube, that link will be directing you to YouTube live. And if it's on LinkedIn, it's going to direct you to LinkedIn live. This is super powerful because obviously platforms do not encourage you to direct the viewers and the audiences away from the platform, right? Like, so if it's a known kind of trick, if you're posting something on X, do not include a link to YouTube. If you're posting something on LinkedIn, do not include a link on X, because those platforms prefer for the audiences and for the viewers and for people to interact with them in the same platform. And while you, of course, sometimes have to redirect them to your own website or other resources, it is best to try to keep them on the same platform and interact with them there. So this is what we're trying to automate, and that is hopefully going to happen in the nearest future. But you can already do it manually. You can simply prepare the links to your live streams so they're ready to go for you. And once you're doing minor editing before you hit multi-posting on publishing, simply add those links, and it's going to look exactly like it does look for us. Let's see if I can do, if I can find the YouTube version. I'm slightly paranoid that it's going to just show everything I have on YouTube, and it has all the crazy recommendations. So maybe I should first
don't show us your feed,
don't show
your
us
algorithm.
the feed. Do not confuse the algorithm. But I am going to go to Restream channel and show you those. Oh, okay. So we're good. Ready? Let's go. So this is, I want to start here actually because I think it's pretty interesting. This is the Restream YouTube channel. And as you can see, we have two streams happening at the same time. And why? It's because one of them is horizontal and the other is vertical. You can see how right now I'm doing like little previews. So this one is where we are in landscape. And in this one, we are in portrait mode. This is what our dual format streaming looks like on YouTube channel. So currently it creates two different events, and people that are coming to your channel can pick their own poison and choose which one they want to watch. If I go to shorts, this is where our live clips are. So you can see that those are the moments that we basically chose from this specific stream. So basically this is live clipping in action, and they're already generating views while we're working on it. So good stuff. Let's see. I am going to go back to chat in just a second. So if you have any additional questions, now is the time to ask. Stop sharing. Good stuff. So let's see what we have in the chat. Not related to clips, but related to vertical streaming. Will Instagram comments be pulled into Restream chat? I know, Romario, this is your favorite topic because Instagram, and it's also chat, right? But I would say that currently the main limitation there is the API of Instagram, right? So it's not something that Restream doesn't want to do or doesn't want to work on. We stream on Instagram ourselves every time we go live, including right now. If you go on Instagram, you will see our live stream there. I do check that tab, and I occasionally respond to some of the questions there, but it does not come through directly into Restream. Actually, one of the ways to do it could be something like this. Let me actually share my screen real quick here. See what it does. So this is how it looks on Instagram right now. So I have to have the separate tab. This is my chat. I'm going to post a quick comment here. So basically it is possible to still read all of your comments, to type up something here, and to, as you can see, we're having a lot of people joining us and watching live. But this is not something that you will see in the multi-chat in Restream directly, right? So this is one of the limitations of our API. So that's not something that we can necessarily fix until Instagram helps us out. So if you do know anybody who works at Instagram, and especially in integrations or product teams, please let us know or let them know that we would absolutely love to bring Instagram comments into Restream multi-chat. Right now, it is just not something that they open up to third-party platforms. But there is a workaround, like I just showed. Additional tab with Instagram is going to help. All right, cool. Okay. This one is from Danger Zone. One second.
And you're back.
For some reason, yeah, I had a little moment here. So people are, I guess, that's where we left off, are taking bets on how many books you have under your chair. What are we at? Where are we at right now?
We're on 2 at the moment. We did try 3, but it was a bit of an overkill. And it's definitely not the most comfortable, especially because they actually got smaller and smaller. So it's like a pyramid of books.
Yeah.
Like, when you have those stones.
Yeah, they get smaller. Okay, very cool. Yeah, so you kind of need to measure like how wide is the book that you're sitting on, like it should fit your situation. But yeah, I think it's 2 books right now, and I don't think it's going to change anytime soon. So I think we're going to stick with 2. If I have to bet, I would bet on keeping it at 2. All right, so we covered the Instagram part, and so yeah, this is also another like use screen share with cropping to bring in the Instagram chat in studio. Basically what I showed earlier, like that's one of the ways to bring those comments in. One of the challenges there too, that Instagram chats are kind of, they appear as questions, and people joining the stream appear as the same thing. So it's a little bit of a messy chat compared to even like our traditional overlay, which only shows comments. It's not going to show everyone who joined the stream. So that's another thing to kind of consider. So you're going to have very busy chat on Instagram because people are just popping in, even if they're not necessarily asking a question. That's kind of one of the things that I personally feel like I had a little challenge with. But you can definitely share that screen and show how it looks. Okay. Will dual channels come to Twitter, and will streaming come to Threads soon? Well, Threads, that's another Instagram related question, I guess. And we don't know yet, because we do need Instagram and Meta to decide that they would want to do that. So if they do, however, we would love to bring live video to Threads if that becomes a thing. And when it comes to dual streaming on X, I do believe that last we heard from the X team is that they are actively investing into redesigning and rebuilding their player, like their video player, and they are thinking about ways to bring in vertical content in addition to horizontal. So it is very possible, and as soon as it's available, we will be happy to bring it to you. Great question, Phil. Thanks for joining in. Danger Zone says, Romario, I love that. Clip that. I think that's a conversation about books on the chair. I have a feeling that whether it's going to be automatically clipped or not, it is going to be clipped somehow, manually or with AI.
Someone's going to do it.
We're not going to let it pass. No way. That's awesome. And there's more Romario love here. No clue what this is about, but if Romario is on the stream, I'm listening. Thomas from LinkedIn.
That is friends? That is a friend from many, many years ago. That's quite funny.
Nice.
We haven't spoken in years.
Nice. This is the power of live. I sometimes get comments. Sometimes they're live comments, and sometimes they are just kind of like post-stream direct messages that I get from people who I've been friends with or worked on some projects like decades ago. And recently I got a comment from one of my, a person that I worked with, I would say like 20 years ago or something like that.
Wow.
And she messaged me and she was like, you know what? We're using Restream all the time for all of our webinars. Love the platform. It's so great. I completely didn't connect the dots, but I saw your stream the other day and we're connected on LinkedIn and now realize that you're a marketer there. How crazy is that? I was just like, this is truly crazy. And that's the type of beautiful things that you can accomplish with live, authentic, and interactive video that you can send on all platforms at the same time with Restream.
And Thomas will speak after. Maybe it's time for his business to use Restream.
What kind of business does Thomas have?
It is paid marketing. I think it's pretty much based all in Europe, from what I remember. But Thomas also does a lot of like in-person events and activities. So let me see. Maybe we can make something happen.
It sounds like a perfect use case for Restream to promote your services with demos, Q&As, and to live stream in-person offline events. Like this is exactly what Restream is for. Absolutely love it. I love this question too. What platforms are compatible with multi-chat? I'm sure Grant can help out and send the link to the support article that has like this cool breakdown. So there are different ways of compatible, like different levels of compatibility, right? So there are some platforms that allow you to basically see comments and respond to comments. So for example, if I type a message here, hey friends, I can send it to certain platforms on Restream behalf, and that's going to be Facebook page and YouTube from the list of platforms that we're streaming on right now. However, I do receive comments from more platforms such as X and LinkedIn. So there is basically read and respond, right? Like, so you can comment and I can comment you back and push that comment on the platform. There is read only, like LinkedIn and X, when I receive the comments in aggregated chat and I can react to them with my voice, or I can display them on the screen like I'm doing right now. And then there are comments and platforms from where the comments do not come through at all. And I will need to have a special separate tab open in order to read or interact with those comments. And those would be TikTok and Instagram. And of course, if you have any custom RTMP destinations that are not part of our Restream ecosystem, right? So I'm sure Grant will be able to send the support article to us right now. That's awesome. And this is, let me actually, so I don't actually need this comment, but so that's the best way to find out whether your platform, your main platform, is going to have chat as read-only, read and response, or you need a separate tab for that. Great question. I love that. All right. We are about to wrap up. So we have 5 more minutes to answer just any final last questions. Maybe any kind of feature requests or feedback, anything related to live clipping or anything related to clipping in general. I definitely feel like we had a really good conversation. We showed you a lot of things. And I believe the last live clip is being ready to get dropped. So that's why we're going to wait for it to make sure that it drops while we're still live. So, which is really cool. Another comment that's actually coming from our co-producers, live streams and comments are great for lead generation. I actually witnessed that personally recently. We have our sales team is based in Austin, Texas, just like me. And we had lunch, and at recent conversations, multiple times it was brought up that people who scheduled calls to talk about enterprise and custom plans brought up our streams because that's how they either learn about Restream in general or learn about specific feature that they were looking to explore. And that basically triggered them to apply, to basically fill in the sales form and have a conversation and consider an enterprise or a customized plan. This is definitely music to our ears because we love to not just be evangelists of the products that we build, but actually be helpful and be useful for sales as a sales enablement. And of course, for people who are just trying to find a way to promote their content. So if what we are telling you about and showing you here is useful, definitely feel free to bring this up when you have conversations with Restream or that definitely makes it to lunch conversations, and it makes me feel very happy. So, and I'm sure everyone else who's co-hosting with me is also kind of like, yay. So that's good stuff. We are going to take, let's see if I have any other questions that we start but unanswered. I do believe that we took most of them. This is Trevor says, why is Restream underrated? It's such a great software. Well, I mean,
Good question.
good question, right? It is a great software. It is a great system. It's super convenient and super easy. And I did not stream before I joined Restream team, which I'll be celebrating 8 years in just a few months. 8 years as Restream. It's like this
Big.
infinity sign, right? Like it's insane. So yeah, like my whole streaming experience is based on from the moment when we built Studio, which also celebrated 6 years anniversary, 6 years birthday recently. So this is how I started streaming, and of course, this has been a wonderful and exciting journey. I learned so much. I met so many people through our live streams and our conversations. So it is definitely a great way to start if you are if you're new to video and live video. And live video as a concept is basically, I cannot think of any other way to talk about what you believe in, to talk about the products that you build, tell your story, have great and exciting guests and exciting conversations that are real, authentic in the era of AI, than to do it live and to show up in real time to all your channels, to your prospect customers, leads, fans, and just people from the community. I do believe that is, as we continue navigating this world of AI, is going to be one of the most genuine ways to build community and to build love around what you build. Because you can, of course, run ads and compete with budgets, but that becomes like, that's kind of like a finite resource, right? How many search ads and how many social media ads can you buy versus live streams and repurposing of that content into many bits and pieces with tools like live clipping. It's going to be one of the ways to differentiate yourself as someone who is authentic and who shows up. Yeah.
With all the ums and ahs and filler words, if you so choose.
With all the books on your chair, if you're trying to level things up and you don't have a lot of time, with all the moments when you have to refresh your studio because you just kind of need to, and with all, yeah.
Maybe for your 8th year anniversary, I'll use 8 books next time as a
8
way
books.
to commemorate. I'll get a really
awesome.
short chair.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. Okay, thank you so very much. And here we go. There's a quick question. What about adding your QR code and sales items in self-population carousels? So we do have QR codes. It's a great feature. Let me actually show you one that can be. Let's see, what can I show you? Maybe our changelog. So this is how our QR codes look. Right here, I just unmirrored my camera, so that's why my left and right are all confused. So if you scan this QR code with your phone, that takes you to our changelog page, which is where we post all the updates about all the recent things that we changed. Updates about clips are also there, and everything that we build in Restream. It's one of the coolest ways to find out what we're up to and what we're building. And you can use QR codes to send people to your store, to your page, to your website, to your lead generation form, your sales form. This is a great way for people to basically get redirected from your stream onto some place where they can make a purchase or sign up or subscribe or request something from you or message you while they can continue watching. Of course, that works for people who are watching not on mobile. If you are watching on mobile, what you can do is do a little screenshot, and most phones right now allow you to kind of press on the QR code on your picture, and then it will turn that into a link. So there's a little bit of a workaround there. But if people are watching on their computer or on their TV, a simple phone scan will allow them to continue staying with you and with your content while taking action, such as buy something or sign up for something. Really great feature. Love QR codes. And yeah, thanks for asking. That's a good one. Let's see. We have one more from Safe Hire 360. You guys do an exceptional job with this video tutorials and lives. That's why I recently left my other platform. That's awesome. Thank you so much. This is really this feels so good to hear. And yeah, this is why Wednesday is my favorite day of the week, because I get to go live and talk to you, see your real-time feedback, see your comments, and it means a lot. Thank you so much for saying that. And thank you to all for taking the time to hang out with us. we are very excited to launch live clips. I believe our last clip is posted right now, so you can see one last little moment from this show while we're still live. Please let us know what you think about the quality of the clips that we posted. All the tutorials and video guides that we shared today will be posted as YouTube uploads and as separate social media posts as well. So you can always come back to those guides. We do have Help Center, and we have 24/7 real human support. So if you're trying to play with clips and you have questions, you need help with onboarding, testing, troubleshooting, make sure to reach out to those people. They're truly superheroes. They really know their stuff. And they are amazing and available 24/7, no matter what time zone or location you are in. I guess, again, big thank you for the whole product team that's working on live clipping. It's not a small feature. It's there's a lot of things to consider to make it work, to make it look good, to make it easy in terms of user experience. I don't know, Romario, if you have any final last anecdotes or like internal moments that you'd like to share, something that really stood out in the process of creating live clipping that you want to share with
for
the
sure.
audience.
I think for me personally, I was a producer 2 weeks ago, and I was focused on doing all the live clipping, posting and editing, and it really, it goes really far. Whether you are a live streamer yourself or you're building any other product, physical or software, is to actually be the user. And we knew we have so much further to go with making this a really easy product for everyone. So just actually being behind the scenes and doing the production really made me feel like the pain of our customers. And I think what we really going to be focused on now is making that as simple as possible. So I'm really excited about making not only live clipping great, but just making the entire clipping experience as easy as possible, and that people have a really great level of confidence in kind of, I'd say, editing that is powered by AI, but you still really do have the control, because at the end of the day, live streaming is the most authentic content, and we really kind of support, all parts of that, which is you being here with the ums and the ahs, but we actually are here to also kind of support in the editing if you want to remove the ums and the ahs.
Yes, and more automations are definitely coming. So we're thinking about the ability to give you just an option to automatically post clips on your selected platforms, basically by saying, we trust that Restream clips are going to do a great job, and everything that has a virality score above 8, for example, I just want it live with the preset descriptions, and hopefully that will answer some of the questions, like what if you are a small team and you don't necessarily have a lot of manpower to do the behind the scenes production. We are definitely moving in that direction to make sure that your content machine is all kind of centered around Restream, and we basically anticipate your every need and make sure that we spread out your message and your story to as many places as possible. Restream.io.clips is a good way to check out what Restream clips are in general. This is our landing page that talks in general about that product. I don't think the information about live clipping is there yet. We are updating it as we speak, but it is a good way to kind of learn about clips in general and also to get started. That's a place from where you can sign up or log into Restream and immediately get into the clips space and start your projects. Super important thing that we forget to mention a lot as we talk about clips in general and live clipping is that you can also create clips from videos that you already have. You don't have to necessarily go live in order to create clips. Of course, for live clips, you kind of need to be live. But if you just want shorts from videos that you created before, maybe some recordings of events or webinars that you did on even other platforms, you can upload those videos to Restream and then clip it up, and share it on your platforms. It's a great way to test and to see how vertical content performs for your platforms and your channels. And it's also a good way to kind of save time, because to build yourself up, to build some courage to go live, it's not for everybody. We do it every week, so we're kind of used to it. But you can definitely start with something you already have and take this repurposing to the next level. Find new formats, find new ways, and give this extra life to the content you already have, because I'm sure it's great.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you everybody who chose to spend this hour and a half with us today, for your great and insightful questions in the chat. Thank you very much, Grant, for being our moderator today and dropping links and kind of managing everything on YouTube. Thank you, Becca. She was our co-producer today, and she was helping with clips. She's the one who was clipping and posting at the same time, and also managed to be here in private chat and tell us when the new clips are dropping, which was super helpful. Thank you, Charles. You saw him today in the tutorials, but he is actually here as well. He's helping us with chats, with scenes, with finding additional content, with fixing up our overlays, and everything else that we do need with a co-producer behind the scene. Thank you so much for all your work. I believe we will be live again next Wednesday, and the topic actually is going to be our new developer portal. So if you're a builder, developer, or product team, and you're thinking about how to use Restream's API in order to integrate that into your workflows, whether it's for clips, which is the topic of today, or other things like channels or pre-recorded videos, next Wednesday is your day. So mark your calendars. We will be posting announcements about that very soon. That is the opportunity to talk to our developers who build this portal. They will build a few demos to show you how exactly that could work and what kind of amazing things you can do with it. And this is going to be the first time on air with our CTO. Andrew is going to be answering your questions live. So that's pretty unique opportunity to talk to the Chief Technical Officer of Restream. Thank you, Romario, for being my co-host today. It's not small job to deal with me.
No.
But I'm live, and to deal with me on top of 2 books on your chair. So I really appreciate your dedication.
Thank you for having me.
Not only with your work with clips, but also with showing up and doing this live, taking those questions, getting a little vulnerable, and just allowing yourself to be available for our customers. This is very important, and I really appreciate every time you guys make time for live. So thank you for being with me here. Let's do a little high five.
Let's get it right this time.
Yep.
Yep.
Click.
There we go.
Here we go. Yeah. Ding, ding. Awesome.
Is Romario getting shorter? I mean, it's possible that
the books are sliding.
The books are just getting
Yeah, that's true, because there's air between pages. That's just physics, right?
I had a big lunch. That's probably that.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. But thanks again for everybody for hanging out with us, and we will see you next week. Cheers.